Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about the mess. All right, y'all. So this is an update. This is according to TMZ. Lil Nas X hit with 4 felonies attacking and injuring cops. So this is an exclusive. It was published today at 10:04 a.m. So Lil Nas X is facing years in prison because the LA County District Attorney has charged him with 4 felonies, including battery with injury on a police officer. TMZ broke the story. The Old Town Road rapper was naked on Ventura Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley when cops were called. They say when they confronted him, he charged the officers and presumably injured at least 3 of them, hence the 3 felony charges. Nas was also hit with a felony charge of resisting an executive officer, i.e., a cop. The rapper was held without bail over the weekend until he could appear before a judge, which happened Monday morning. He's set to be arraigned later today. So far, bail has not been set, but that should happen when he's arraigned. When cops arrested Nas, they thought he was high on drugs, so they took him to a hospital and later transferred him to jail. TMZ obtained video from the day before Nas's arrest, where he was acting erratically outside a West Hollywood hotel. you know, initially, I really thought that this was just a stunt. I did, based off of who was involved, which was Lil Nas X. I still stand on everything I've said. When you are a stunt queen and you pull stunt after stunt after stunt after stunt after stunt, you can't be surprised that people then think when the next thing happens, it's a stunt. This is the same person who has put blood in shoes, danced with the devil. He was doing something about Jesus the other day in a video. So he does these things. So yes, initially I thought, oh girl, this is just another queen girl pulling a stunt like he always does. I called him the boy who cried wolf. At some point, people are gonna be like, oh girl, ain't nothing going on. It wasn't until I saw him naked, I was like, oh girl. Because for the most part, most people are just not running around the street naked. Somebody did point out Erica Badu. I forgot about E Badu. Remember when Erica Badu did it, I think in her window seat video? But nobody thought that Erica was having a mental breakdown or she OD'd on something. But for the most part, I do believe that most people, if they saw somebody running through the street naked, they would probably think that something is not right. So when I did see that, it did kind of change my mind a lot. Like, oh, bro, he might really be going through something. Whether it was he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, or maybe he's just having a mental breakdown. Um, how I feel ain't got nothing to do with the law. Okay, I do understand that in certain situations, how you still should and could be held responsible for your actions, even if it's your first bump in with the law. Like if you got behind the wheel of a car and you unfortunately unalive someone, you're going to jail, even if it was your first time, you know, because you got behind the wheel of a car under the influence of alcohol, and unfortunately, an accident happened and somebody died. You're going to prison. I do believe in this situation, I just feel like it's different though, because no one got hurt. Yes, I guess he tried to attack. Okay, not tried to. I guess he attacked some cops. But I think that they should take into account that maybe he was going through something mentally. You see what I'm saying? Nobody died. Nobody, was anybody really hurt? You know, okay, he attacked a police officer. You shouldn't do that because you're going to jail, clearly. Okay? Well, all I'm saying is I think they should take into account that maybe even if he was under the influence of some type of drug or alcohol, that it could have been also due to him having a mental breakdown. I don't know. I just feel like in some scenarios, I think that it should be looked at a tad bit differently in comparison to somebody who just like caused a 15-car collision because they were drunk and people actually died. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully he, you know, he gets out on bail and he can go home. Because again, you know, no one was hurt. He knocked somebody upside the head with a cone. But like I said, girl, how I feel and what the law says are two different things. Either way, he does need some help. And it kind of goes to show too how like, girl, I don't know, girl. It's like when you hear these stories of like the industry will like swallow you whole and like spit you back out. You hear these stories, and I know I'm going off into a whole like left field. Like people, we're all responsible for ourselves, right? Especially once you are, you know, an adult, you're responsible for yourself. But I do, it does kind of bring up when I hear people talk about Hollywood and how, you know, once people feel like you're no longer, you know, a money machine, like they kind of like throw you away. And I'm not necessarily saying that's what's going on with Lil Nas X, but you just hear these stories. And it is, and even though Lil Nas X is a grown man, it does kind of, I'm not taking any of the responsibility away from him, right? Because at the end of the day, we are responsible for I'm responsible for this right here. However, I also want to ask, like, girl, what was his family and friends at? Like, have they noticed a change in his behavior? Right? Not to put the blame on them, but I'm just asking, like, have they noticed a change in his behavior? Um, you know, were they concerned at some point? At the end of the day, like, you can only do so much, you know? So even if you do have, even if it could be any of us, if we were going through something at the end, you know, your family and friends can only do so much. But I would want to know, like, what had they seen a difference in how he was, you know, presenting himself to them when he came around? Does he even have a relationship with his family? I believe so, right? I don't keep up with Lil Nas X like that. I tried to support him when the whole Montero stuff was happening, right? Just because it was like another gay black guy. And the song was kind of cute. Call me what you want, call me what you need. Call me in the morning, call me in the midnight. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. I thought the little nigga was out there just doing a bend and snap. I really did. I really did. I thought Lil Nas X was pulling the stunt in the show, baby. I thought that stunt queen was out there doing a bend and snap. I said, look at that fucking stunt queen just pulling the stunt in the show, girl.
Sean Bankhead taught me that one. Bow! Bang! Bow! Woo!
So you bend and snap.
Ain't nothing wrong with that nigga. But girl, something might be wrong with him, girl, for real though. All BS aside.
My God, today.
It's sad. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on. Like, that boy should not be even facing prison. I said we was moving on, and I just want to finish this. I'm gonna be done with this. That boy should not be facing time in prison. He just should not. If anything, they should be trying to find out what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all be want to just throw, and it kind of goes to show, girl, y'all just want to throw people in prison just for no reason. Everybody does not deserve to be in prison. Yes, even if you hit a police officer, you have to look at the situation at hand. You know what I'm saying? To be facing years in prison, and it could have been he was having a mental breakdown, right? And it could have been due to him having a mental breakdown. He could have been under the influence of drugs. I don't know. We don't know all the details. But what I am saying is I don't think he should be going, I don't think he should even, it should not, prison should not even be in the same sentence in this scenario. It just shouldn't. Y'all just want to throw people away, throw people up and just lock away the key. I mean, throw people away and just, what am I trying to say? Girl, throw people away, lock people up and throw away the key. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Shit. I don't like that. Girl, find out what's wrong with him. Try and get some help for him, right? But to be trying to like just slap stuff on somebody. And I'm not gonna bring the race card in this. I was about to. I'm not gonna bring the race card into this. Because he did hit a cop, and you can't hit a cop. That's just what it is. But girl, for you to go in there and be like, "Girl, we're gonna charge him. We're gonna charge him with 4 felonies." Girl, what? And he could be facing years in prison. But then y'all always be like, "Oh, girl, he OD'd." Like, girl, I can see if he OD'd and people were killed or hurt. Girl, somebody gonna say, "Oh, the cop was hurt." Girl, that cop wasn't hurt. Girl, his feelings were probably bruised. Their feelings were probably hurt. But y'all get what I'm trying to say? Anyways, girl, I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. I was going to talk about Southwest Airlines, but we'll talk about them in another video. I got to go pick my nieces up from school anyways. All right. Bye, y'all.